Itty Girl, and she's back at Angels with Scaly Wings. Now, if you're up to date with my videos, then you would know that there's been a huge fucking gap between the last video and this one, and that's because I moved over to having my videos at 10 minutes long rather than 30, and I thought having both Night in the Woods and Angels with Scaly Wings running almost weekly together would end up basically oversaturating in terms of big blocks of stuff to watch. So I finished off Night in the Woods, and here I am. I considered... So I fuck it up almost immediately. I considered spending my free time roaming the town, but decided that it would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimentary meal, I considered picking up another book when the doorbell rang. And who would this be?
Hey, Molly!
Hey, Sebastian. Do you need my help again?
We're just a small-town police department, and with Bryce removed from the case, our resources are thinner than ever.
I understand. So what do you have for me?
First up is the primary witness in the latest murder, the victim's colleague, Anna. She was the first one who found the body. A few things have changed since this morning, as we've gotten some additional information from forensics that warrants further questioning. She can be found in the production facility. You seemed interested in that underground building near the portal. I realized you might actually be able to help us with that. Since it's suspected to be of human origin, your opinion would be greatly appreciated.
I guess I should add archaeologist to my resume.
Maybe human matters consultant would be more appropriate.
Do you really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries?
Oh, you wouldn't actually go there in person. I just want you to take a look at the collected information in the archives and give us your opinion. Besides, no one is allowed to visit it at the moment. The building is old and unstable, and there is a danger of it collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen.
Flooding?
Yes, the whole building is on the ground, and we've determined that there is a rather large pocket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything and everyone inside.
I see.
We also located another witness for the latest murder. A store clerk reported seeing and hearing something, so it's probably worth it to ask him a few questions.
Got it.
Here are all the details. Visit me at the department once you're done.
Sure thing. It was interesting that they still relied on me for their investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. I didn't expect them to allow me to help with police matters after everything that had happened. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantages of having me on their side apparently outweighed the risks, though I had to wonder who would have to be more careful from now on. I will go to the production facility and see what Anna has been up to. I'm pretty sure that she actually has... Oh, it's Lorem. Hey, Molly! Lorem, right? Yep. Did you get a chance to think about what I told you last time? Don't worry, I didn't lose your number. They keep me pretty busy, so I don't really have much free time. Well, if anything changes, give me a call. I will. I got to go now, so take care. You too. This should be the right place. Oh, it's you. I'm a little busy, so I'm not sure if I should take any visitors at the moment. I have a few questions about the murder of your colleague. Is that so? Why do you get to go around asking questions like that? Is it a matter of human interest? Actually, yes, you could say so. Interesting. What's in it for me? Hey, I already agreed to your tests. I'm not sure what else I could offer you. Besides, I'm working with the police, so your cooperation would be greatly appreciated. Oh, you're working for our police. Now you really have my attention. I want to see where you're going with this, so by all means, go ahead. You seem very calm for someone whose colleague was just murdered. People die every day. It's a simple fact of life. Besides, I don't see you crying about him either. I didn't know him that well, so it's not like someone I actually cared about died. The world stops spinning for no one. Life goes on, and for me, that means being without an assistant for a while. What happened the last time you saw him alive? I saw him yesterday evening. There were some tests I needed to run overnight, so instead of staying late to set them up, I had Damien do it. That's what colleagues are for, right? Can you tell me what happened when you found him? I might have left early yesterday, but I made up for it by coming in early today, before anyone else. That's why I was the one to find him. I was on my way to my office when I saw him lying in the middle of the hallway in a puddle of his own blood. What was your relationship to him? We were colleagues, nothing more. I heard that you didn't particularly like him. Yeah, but that's not unusual. I don't like most people. He really didn't like me, though. Why's that? He was just jealous of my success, and it showed. That's all. That'll be all for now. Thank you, Anna. My pleasure. Time to head back. I interrogated Anna! Yay! Before deciding my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. A small piece of paper had been slipped under my door while I was gone. Don't go to the portal, was all it said. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but that was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrawled. Someone clearly didn't want me to go to the portal, but why would I go there in the first place? As it was already out of order right now, such an action would serve no purpose. I looked outside the window at the portal's faint silhouette in the distance. The paper rustled between my fingers as I fidgeted with it, wondering about the message's sender and significance. My train of thought was violently interrupted by a sharp burst of gunfire echoing from the portal. I had to think fast. The gunshots ensured Razor's involvement. He was at the portal. The question was, why? If this was his attempt to flee back to the human world, he would receive a rather unpleasant surprise at the moment he would try to use the portal. Or maybe Sebastian's theory was correct and Razor held the part needed to repair the portal, in which case his escape could be imminent. The gunshots themselves were another question. Was someone trying to stop him? The police patrol may have seen him and he may have been taken by surprise. This could be another murder in progress. But all of his murders were committed with a sharp weapon before now, not a gun. He didn't want to be heard. Like back to the earlier video when I was like, well, you know what? He'd want to use the gun for self-defense because it's pretty much a guaranteed, you're shot, you're down. Besides, it was only early evening and the town was still bustling. If Razor wanted to stay hidden, he was doing a rather poor job at it. Of course, there was also the possibility that he wanted to be heard, but who would he want to attract? The police? Maverick? It could easily be a trap for those hunting him, and that technically included me, though I wasn't sure if he knew of my involvement in the investigation. It was also a very real possibility that he knew my apartment was close enough to the portal to hear a gunshot. Could it be a signal for me? Regardless, the words I held in my hands were unmistakable. Don't go to the portal. What should I do? I want to go to the portal. This is a very tough decision. I want to go to the portal because, you know, that's where the action's at, but I should call the... fuck it, I'm going to the portal. The path I took was a familiar one by now. Even with the night falling, it was easy for me to find my way around. Long, grotesque shadows stretched out before me, and the atmosphere was eerie and dangerous. I couldn't tell if it was because the evening shrouded darkness, or if the urgent situation tugging at my mind had twisted my perception. I made it past the village border and pressed on. There was still a fair distance to go. Suddenly, gloved hands grabbed me from behind, clamping over my mouth. I couldn't make a sound. From what I could see, it was the same hooded figure I'd met in the maintenance room after the second murder.
It's too late. Maverick arrived before you did, and he'll make sure that no one uses the portal today. Don't follow me.
Ah, okay. I was shoved to the ground, and before I could regain my composure, the figure vanished into the darkness. If Maverick was still in the area, it was not a good idea to stay here. I wouldn't want to fuel his suspicions, or worse. I figured it was time to go back to the police department anyway. I tried to go to the portal! Reckless achievement. Yeah. Don't be so reckless.
There you are, Molly.
It seems to me you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair.
Maybe I could get used to this. Don't tell Bryce, though. By the way, we have evidence that Razor visited the portal today. Someone reported loud bangs consistent with what we know about his weapon. We didn't manage to capture him, but I wonder if this stunt means he's getting desperate.
Who knows?
Now, let's take a look at what you've got for me. The witness report from Anna is good. Nothing new to us, but it's nice to have her statement in writing. Not bad, Molly. Not bad at all. Thanks for your help.
I do what I can.
I know, and your help is greatly appreciated, believe me. Especially since we're so short on staff right now. That will be all for today. I'll contact you if we need anything.
Of course.
See you next time.
See ya. Finally, a free day. What should I do? I think I want to stick on the trend of Anna and a Dean. So I'll do that. I'll meet with Anna first. After I just basically accused her of murder. There you are. I was wondering if you'd even show up. I'm an honourable person. I wouldn't miss an opportunity to meet you. I didn't have anything better to do anyway. I wouldn't miss an opportunity to meet you. A glutton for punishment, huh? Not that I mind. Follow me, please. Cool. So, what exactly is this room? It's our testing room for research on live subjects. And what exactly do you test here? You'll see soon enough. I intend to use this facility to its fullest potential. I see. Let's start with this one. What's that? I can get a good look at your bone structure, muscle groups, and organs with this. For the finer details, we'll need a different machine. Would you please lie down here? Of course. Before we start, can I ask about your qualifications? You can trust me. I'm a doctor.
What kind of doctor?
Well, Doctor of Pharmacy is the only title I currently hold, but I know how to operate this machinery.
That doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
You think I'd let an opportunity like this go to waste by not doing my research? I'll have you know that I'm very qualified to perform these tests. If you say so. Now, please try not to move too much while this is running.
And how long will that be?
Good question. I suppose we'll see soon enough. And what do we do now? Just wait until it's over? What do you want me to do? Dance for you so you don't get bored?
I wouldn't mind that.
I'm sure you wouldn't, but I'm afraid I don't provide those kinds of services. You know, when I heard that something happened at the facility, I thought it might have been you. It's quite something, isn't it? You know, if I stayed as late as I used to, it might have been me instead of Damien. And it's only because you told me not to stay late so often that I wasn't there at night.
Ha 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 ha! Yes!
Still, somebody died. I'm not crying over that bastard. Alright, you can move again. Does that mean I'm done? That's a good one. We're just getting started.
What about the results?
Don't hold your breath. It'll be processing for some time, and the resulting data will be so fast that I'll probably end up studying it for days. Let's collect some samples now. Where should I start?
Wherever you like.
Show me your claws. That would be fingernails, in my case. I suppose you're right. It would be insulting to call those thin little things of yours claws. They'd probably break off before you could make use of them in any practical way. Well, excuse you, I can use these for scratching my butt. Yeah. Can you use yours for scratching your butt? I don't think your arms even bend that way. So, to you. Just one more way nature gave us the short end of the stick. So, which part would be fine for me to cut off? Take a piece from the white part. The rest you see is attached to the finger. Hold still then. Don't cut off too much. Don't worry, I only need enough to put it under a microscope. There, was that so bad? Do you want me to put a bandage on your little boo-boo?
I'll show you a boo-boo.
No, thanks. And what now? Now to go right under the microscope. She got up and sat down at a table. Intently, Anna stared at the device while messing around with the nail clipping. Let's see. Putting your fingernail under a microscope is something we used to do in middle school. Quiet, please. There's a scientist at work here. Okay. This structure looks a lot like keratin.
I could have told you that! Because it is!
Well, that's not much of a surprise, really. Keratin is the substance that forms the claws on us dragons, and most of the animals here, at least as far as mammals, reptiles, and birds are concerned. So, why would you retain the structure, but not do anything useful with it is beyond me. It gets better. They grow continuously, so they need to be cut regularly. What happens if you don't cut them? They just keep growing. How much can they keep growing? Pretty much indefinitely. Do they get thicker at least? Or what else happens when they grow? They just get longer. What a hassle. So, how long are you planning on keeping me here? Getting impatient already? I'm just saying, our date didn't take all that long, and you mentioned you'll already have days worth of data from that machine. Well, we never specified any terms, and I sat out our date until it was officially over. This will certainly go by much quicker if you can show a little patience. Says the Queen of Complaining. I don't complain, I just point out errors. Besides, I'd be Empress, not just a Queen. By the way, how do you feel about needles? Yeah, go ahead and poke me if you need to. Actually, fun story, I'm going for... I went for my, try again. Okay, so in a few weeks, I'm actually going to be seeing a clinician about transitioning, because that's something you have to do in Australia. You have to be like, hey doctor, am I trans enough to get hormones? And they have to decide. But I had to go get blood tests to do like a check of liver, kidneys, estrogen, testosterone and all that. And that was the first time I actually had a blood test. And there was there were two ladies on doing the blood tests. And I told the lady, you know, it's the first time I've had a blood test, so if I scream like a pansy, don't be surprised. And she was so cheeky. She actually took one of the certificates they give kids on their first time. Like, I was very brave at the bravery certificate, and she gave me it. And I actually plan on getting it framed. If I take the time to, actually sit down and edit this video, other than just cut off the front and cut off the ass and make it, fit nice, I'll pop that in the corner. I see. I'll make the most of it, then. You'll need to remove some layers for the next part. What are you gonna do? These are just some electrodes, and I'll also measure your brain activity with one of those helmets. Alright. There you go. What is it now? It's kinda cold in here. Is it? I suppose it might be for you, considering your lack of fur. I know! I'm disappointed about it too. Luckily, our scales are pretty good insulators, as you saw last time. It actually goes both ways. We're pretty resistant to both heat and cold.
Just let me know if I turn blue.
And you turn blue when you get cold? I'd like to see that. It was just a joke. Besides, when that happens, it's usually too late to get out of it again unscathed. What a shame. This will also take a while. I want to have a good reference and see how your rates change. Your head shape is a little different from ours, but I think this one should do the trick. Perfect, just as if it was made for you. I'm not so sure of that. By the way, how can you even be so sure that your machinery will have no adverse effects on me? I suppose I can't. That is mildly unsettling. Your physiology is similar enough to ours that there shouldn't be any problems. I see. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
What is this, a polygraph test?
No, this is something completely different. I'm also measuring your brain activity here. Besides, I don't really care about the truthfulness of your answers. Rather, this is to establish your natural highs and lows of the values I'm measuring. Now, go ahead then. Let's start with the easy ones. Just say no to the following 3 questions. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Understood?
No.
I set myself up for this one, didn't I?
You did.
The questions start now. Are you human?
Nah.
Oh, I see. Is your favourite colour orange?
Nope.
Interesting. Have you been convicted of any crime?
No.
I see. Now, we'll get to the real part. You can answer the following questions however you like. I forgot to turn Steam off, and I keep getting notifications for people coming on playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, so I'm sitting there going, my God, I want to play it now! Now, we'll get to the real part. You can answer the following questions however you like. Got it. Did it make you uneasy when you had to answer all the test questions negatively? Yeah. I see. Interesting. Oh, I just realised the background, like, the text box is all scales. Like, it's... Oh, my God. Have you taken a liking to anyone here since you arrived? Yep. I see. Did you have any ulterior motives when you came to our world, or is it as simple as we were led to believe? There are no ulterior motives. I see. That's all for this test. You can take off the helmet, and I'll take care of the electrodes. This kind of seemed like an interrogation. I wanted to keep it simple by asking questions that could get a reaction. I see. It's kind of a shame, because in the end the lack of additional subjects for this test means those results might not be very useful to us. We'd probably need a few more humans. Then why do them in the first place? The data is still useful, just not as useful as it could be. And besides, I did tell you I'd make the most of this room. Well, what's next? I'm not sure yet. Do I want to get close enough to examine mucosa and orifices? Probably not. Yes, and there's only one person in this room who can answer that question. I'm gonna say yes. Is that what you're into? Good to know. You cheeky cunt. We quarantined Razor when he initially arrived here, but skipped the procedure with you. After examining Razor, we don't think humans by themselves pose any danger. Nevertheless, who knows what kind of illnesses and bacteria might be housing as an alternate host? I'm not taking that risk without a full protective suit. Does that mean your procedures are going to get a lot more invasive? No, I'm not in the mood to put on a suit and sterilise the whole room. To be fair, I haven't heard of anyone I've been in contact with getting any strange diseases that far. Sure, but then I'd have to ask you if any of those actually got close enough to you. As in, intimately close. Aha! No orifice examinations then. For the next part, we'll actually have to go outside. Ah, disgusting. That sounds like fun. Depends. Here, strap this to your arm. What's this? A handheld monitor. I want to measure how you perform during exercise. I don't like exercising. And I don't like waiting. Let's go then, shall we? Sure thing. And now, take one lap around the block. I'll be waiting for you here. You can go as fast or slow as you want, but try not to stop until you're back here. I'll be monitoring you, so I'll know if you try to do anything fishy. I wouldn't do such a thing. Of course not. The honest and good Molly would never do such a thing. There's no need to make fun of me for it. You're such a bleeding heart, Molly. I'm actually going to have to ask my housemate to have a lend of her fucking... She got a legitimate tiny violin. Like, world's smallest violin. It's like about that big. And you can just take it out of the case and go... I don't think it actually plays, though. Anyway, you can start whenever. The monitor should take care of the rest. Trying for a consistent speed, I started with a light jog. Soon, I was outside the gate and around the corner when I met an unexpected surprise.
Hey, Molly.
Hey, Remy. Long time no see.
Indeed, just enjoying the fresh air, I see.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever want to come by and visit the library or need to know anything, feel free to ask me.
I will, thanks.
My pleasure.
And I went and fucked it up. Afterwards, I finished my lap around the block, arriving only a few minutes after I'd started. I suppose it was too much to ask for a lap without any breaks. Maybe I shouldn't have expected you to be as fit as we are. I got distracted on the way. And also, yes, I'm unfit. Fucking deal with it. How so? Did you have to stop and smell some flowers? I met Remy. Remy? Oh, I wouldn't mind if that bastard kicked the bucket too. What do you have against him? He's such a self-righteous do-gooder who can't help but stick his nose where it doesn't belong. I don't care what he does as long as he doesn't mess with me, but he does mess with me, so I do care. Anyways, I've got your data, so we can head back inside if you're not too exhausted to walk. Of course. Looking at your data, it's kinda hard to evaluate it without having any reference points. How much exercise do you usually get? Ha! Oh, I came out to have a good time, and honestly, I'm feeling so attacked right now. I see. You sure get to ask me a lot of questions here. All part of the tests. Though, I think those were all the tests I needed to run on you for today. Does that mean we're done here? Oh, some of the data from the scanning machine has been processed. We can look at some pretty pictures of you. I'd rather be looking at some pretty pictures of you instead. That's the best you can come up with? Seriously. Oh right, I totally forgot that you are a mammal. To encounter an intelligent mammal of all things, well, reasonably intelligent at the very least. Why is that so surprising? You already have your myths about humans. Myths are myths. Having you here in the flesh is an entirely different thing. It's not like I could use our myths to get a scan like this one. It just seems so funny to me. Do you nurse your young from your teats as well? Yeah, we do. Let me study your muscle groups for a bit. Do you want me to take my clothes off again? I meant the pictures. Oh, right. Yep, I get it. You can stay for a bit longer in case I have any questions. All right. While I continued sitting on the bed, she went up to a table and started looking at the scans of muscle groups. As we talked, her eyes never left the screen. Some of these structures are very similar to those found at Damien's kind. I'm not surprised. His stature is similar enough. True, true. Now shut up and let me concentrate. Does that approach ever work? What are you talking about? You being that rude to everyone. We're done here. Get out. You can't take what you dish out, huh? Suddenly, she got up. A look of rage crossed her face. I said, get the heck out of here! She grabbed my arm and roughly walked me to the door. After shoving me outside, she quickly closed the door behind me. Okay. Looks like I have some free time today. And I can pick anyone else. But for now, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. Take care.